Welcome to my channel! Okay, so this first story that I'm about to tell you is crazy, and I really hope that I can do it justice. Okay, so ever since I was young, I really liked classic rock music, I grew up listening to like Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, stuff of that nature, AC/DC, a lot of that. So back about 5, 6, 7 years ago, I really got super into Pearl Jam. But in about 2015, I got really into Pearl Jam. I listened to them all the time. One day while I was at work, sitting in a... My cat is ruining my life. I was sitting in a meeting at work, and my friend sent me a link to a tour announcement from Pearl Jam, and I literally almost started crying. I was so excited. So I got 3 of my friends together. One in particular, her name is Kimberly. So I got Kimberly and waited until the day they went on sale. We were sitting at our respective desks in 2 different cities on the phone with each other at work, ready to just click go. We had our credit card numbers entered. We were fucking ready for Eddie, y'all, okay? Counting down to get the tickets. It's 9:59 and 30 seconds. And we were like, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? So 10 o'clock hits. We get 4 tickets to see Pearl Jam. I lost my mind. I was so excited. We bought those tickets in, I want to say like January or something like that. The concert wasn't until April. The weeks leading up to it were just torture. You know when you're really looking forward to something and it's just taking forever and ever to get there? That's exactly what was happening. You know, about 3 days before the concert, you know, I'm like, hey bitches, we don't have a hotel yet. I start looking for a hotel, and this is in a pretty small city in South Carolina, and it did not have the capacity for 25,000 Pearl Jam fans to come into it, and all the hotels were full. So I start looking around in surrounding areas, nothing, nada. So I look at this place right outside town in kind of the neighboring town, about 20 minutes away or something to that effect. Finally, I pick, and I'm gonna say it because I have proof. I have all of the records. I don't want to give it too much away. I picked a Super 8. Okay, this Super 8 had 2-3 stars at the most. I read the reviews. They said there's no bugs here. The front desk lady is a little bit rude. The rooms are a little bit shitty. But there are no bugs, and that's pretty much the best that it was gonna get at that point. So I paid $88 and booked the hotel. Whatever, because we were just gonna go to the concert, come right back and go to sleep, and then get up the next day and leave. It was not going to be a big deal. The day of the concert finally arrives, and we're so super excited. So we get going, we get on the road. Me and my friends are having a great time, just driving down the road. It's about 2 hours away from our city because we live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. We're on the road having such a good time, and then I'm driving. You know, my friend says, hey girl, let's stop for coffee. I'm like, coffee? Sure, that sounds great. Just put it in the GPS and off we'll go. So she puts it in the GPS. I start going the way that it tells me to go. And then I noticed that we're going like back in the woods, kind of away from civilization, and I'm like, hey girl, where are you taking me right now? Siri, better tell me what the fuck you doing. We just keep going back further and further until we reach a fucking hospital. A hospital! My GPS has never ever taken me to a hospital before, or a mall, or an airport, or anything like that when I type in Starbucks. It does not do that, but it did that. So I drive up to the front entrance, send these bitches in for coffee, and then I'm like, okay, I should have known at this exact moment that something fucked up was going to happen on this trip. I should have known. So we get to the hotel, I go in, and there's a very nice young lady at the desk, And I check in and I'm like, well, the front lady, the front desk lady is not rude. That review was inaccurate. And, you know, I thought at that point that I was never going to have to talk to them again until the next day when I checked out. We get checked in. We go to our hotel room. It's pretty fucking dingy. It's pretty icky. There's a lamp hanging off of the wall. I will insert a picture at some point. But we're like, okay, we're here. We're in. There's no bed bugs. Don't see any cockroaches. You know, let's just have fun. So we start drinking. This is very important. I have been to a lot of concerts in my life, like a lot, like hundreds. And usually my go-to pre-game is to just get fucking shit hammered before going. And then I end up not remembering all that much about the concert, just, you know, bits and pieces. And that is something I really wanted to avoid whenever I saw Pearl Jam, because I was so excited, y'all. So fucking excited. So, we're all drinking, but I am honestly taking it easy before we go out. It's early as fuck. The sun is shining bright. Take a note of that. So we leave. We go to the concert. It is fucking as magical as possible. Oh my goodness. I cried, you know. About 2 beers, and like I said, we were 20 to 25 minutes away from our hotel, so even after we were drinking, you know, I had plenty of time to simmer down after that. Got to the concert. They played for 2.5 hours, and I had maybe 2 beers, and I'm not even sure I finished my second one. I am, for all intents and purposes, sober. We have to wait outside for an Uber for like over an hour. As I said, it was a tiny city. You know, it was not prepared for the influx of 25,000 people to watch Eddie Vedder. And the rest of, I love the rest of them too, but Eddie is my fucking homeboy. We waited over an hour for an Uber, which is okay. I expected that. The cab ride back was like $75. I expected that too. It's okay. It's fine. I saw Pearl Jam. My life is okay right now. So we get back to this sketchy ass fucking hotel in the ghetto. Oh, by the way, the cab driver, when I told him, or the Uber driver, when I told him where we were going, he's like, you 4 girls are going to, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and fucking say the place. We were in Greenville, South Carolina watching Pearl Jam, and that Super 8 is in Powdersville, South Carolina, which is on the outskirts of Greenville, which is a wonderful, beautiful city. Powdersville, not so much. Super sketchy. The Uber guy was like, you guys are going to the wrong side of town. I'm like, well, we're only here for one night. You know, how bad could it fucking be? Yeah. So we get back to our hotel, and we go in, and we're like, well, let's just stay up for a few minutes more and, you know, drink a little bit now that we're back and, you know, play some cards or something to that effect. So we go in our hotel room. Remember how I told you there was a lamp hanging off the wall? Well, that lamp obviously did not work, but it turns out there were no overhead lights, and there were like 2 lamps in the room. One of them had the extension, like the cord that hooks into the wall, cut with a knife, and the other one just didn't work at all. The only light that worked in that entire room was in the bathroom, and the curtains weren't closing, and we were on the ground floor, so we were super sketched out that we were right there on the street with no fucking lights in our entire hotel room. Like, okay, let's call the front desk. Surely they can just give us a fucking lamp, right? Okay. We call the front desk, ask for a lamp. This woman says, basically, no. I'm like, what? And she's like, you know, I really don't have time for that. And I know this sounds unbelievable because it fucking is. I will insert screenshots of the complaints that we submitted afterward, and all that. But just so you know, this is exactly how it went. Sober bitch here. I've never been rude to a person in customer service in my entire life. I've worked in restaurants. I know how it is. Okay, I can handle rude. This woman over the phone says, I don't have time for this. bitch, it is 1:30 in the fucking morning. What are you doing? So she says, you'll have to just call back. So we wait like 15 minutes in the fucking dark and then call her back. My other friend calls, and then I couldn't hear exactly what was going on right now, but I know that that bitch was crazy when I was on the phone with her, so I'm not putting an ounce of blame on my friend here. So she's on the phone with the lady at the front desk, and she's like, well, we called about 15 minutes ago. We were wanting a lamp because our room doesn't have any lights in it at all whatsoever. We were sitting here in the pitch black. And I'm not sure exactly what happened, but she said, my friend said, I don't know why you're yelling at me. And that's when I turned around and was like, oh fuck, what? Uh-oh, what's happening? My friend was like, well, I don't think this is a very good way for you to be treating your customers. And then I'm just like, oh God. And then she slams the phone down and she's like, that bitch is crazy. I'm like, well, I know she was fucking rude when I was on the phone with her, but what did she say to you? And she said, well, she just hung up on me. I'm like, okay, well, maybe we should go to the front desk. So backtracking a little bit, my friend Kimberly got fucked up at this concert and was sleeping. She was like, oh, I'll go to the front desk. I'm like, oh no, maybe I should do it. She's like, no, I got it. Okay. She goes to the front desk, and my friend that was on the phone went also. Maybe I should go check on them. So I go to the door, open the door, and my super drunk sleeping friend is barging in, shouting, this bitch called the cops. And I'm like, hold up. You're gonna tell me that we called the front desk of this Super 8 in Powdersville, South Carolina for a lamp and the fucking police are coming? Excuse the fuck out of me. Okay. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go down and try to assess the situation because like I said, I'm sober. I go down and my friend that was on the phone originally is standing there and this bitch is yelling. She's like, get the fuck out of my fucking hotel. And then she referred to us as teeny bopper bitches, that we needed to get the fuck out of her hotel that we paid for. All we did was ask for a lamp. Nothing happened. We waited 15 minutes and then called back and asked nicely again after she was rude the first time. So she is yelling teeny bopper bitches at us and I'm like, oh my fucking God. Okay, so my friend leaves and goes to sit in the car because she just can't even anymore. So I go back and sit in the room and I'm like, well, the cops are coming. This will be fun. I was like, but don't worry because I'm sober. But my other friend, she's like, well, fuck this place. I'm like, yeah, fuck this place. I'm sitting there in the fucking pitch black room looking out the fucking window when I see the cops pull up. I said, okay, I'm gonna go handle this. So I leave the room, go up to the front desk where I see the cops talking to them, and I walk right up to the cops, right where that bitch is talking to them, telling them that we were drunk teenagers. She said drunk teenagers. We're all quite a few years over 21 plus, to be quite honest. And she said drunk teenagers were causing a scene. So I walk right up and I've said, hi, I think you're looking for me, to the policeman with the front desk lady standing right there. There are two policemen there, and they're like, is it you? And she said no originally, and then she said yes. So he's like, well, okay, just come over here and step over here and talk to me for a minute. So I step aside, and me and my friend that was waiting in the room with me are standing there talking to these policemen. And she was pretty sober. I was very sober. All of the alcohol had worn off at that point. Not that there was a whole lot of it to begin with, but all of the alcohol had worn off. He is asking me why this woman is losing her mind and wanting us arrested. I said, I have absolutely no idea. I was super duper calm. I told him the whole story about how there's no lights in the room, and he's like, there's no lights in the room, can you show me? I show him that there are 0 lights in the room and that one of them is cut with a knife, and tell him that all we did was ask for a lamp, and then she said no, and to call back, and we did, and then she lost her shit. So the policeman is like, you're clearly not drunk and you're clearly not causing a scene, and I don't understand why she's so upset. And I said, me either, sir. I walk with them, with the policeman, up the hallway and go to the front desk. He says to her and to me, both witnesses at the same time, he says, they're going to go back to their room and you're going to not speak to them, and they're not going to get a lamp, and you guys are not going to communicate with one another, and then they're going to check out in the morning and everything's going to be fine. He's like, is that okay with you? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I have no problem. We weren't planning on coming out of the room anyway. So, we go back to the room. Everything's going okay when I realize that we left something in the fucking car. Since we are bound to our room for the night, per the police, like, well, let's just go out the back door and get it. We don't have to walk through the thing. And then one of us can stand by the back door and then let the other one in when we get back with the thing. Just so we don't bother this fucking cunt at her desk while she's smoking a cigarette in the back office doing whatever she wants to do at 2:30 in the goddamn morning. So we do this, and my friend goes out the door to get whatever it was that we left, and I'm standing at the back. You know how there's like a front entrance to a hotel, and you know you have hallways, and there's usually like doors on the sides of the hotel so you can step out, smoke a cigarette, do whatever you need to do. Well, I'm standing there at the hotel. This woman runs down the hall basically saying, you can't come in there. And I'm like, why the fuck not? Like, why? Like, it's a door and it's unlocked. Like, I don't understand what's the big deal. And she's like, that is for my safety, not yours. Yes, ma'am. So I text my friend and say that there's a fucking crazy bitch waiting at this door here and that she cannot come back in because this woman's just standing there waiting. She's like, nobody can come in here. I'm like, okay, well, can you wait here while my friend comes in the front door? And she's like, no, I'm going to lock the front doors right now. I'm like, is this fucking legal? Am I being held hostage in a goddamn Super 8 right now? Am I gonna die here? What the fuck is happening? So at that point, I'm starting to get really, really pissed off. This woman is ruining my fucking night with Eddie Vedder, okay? I just had the best fucking evening, and here she is turning it to shit. So I'm getting really fucking antsy. I'm like, you can't lock me out of this hotel. I paid for this room. I paid you $88 to stay in this shithole. I admit, I was getting a bit angry at that point. I don't know why I didn't get my phone out and film this. I really don't. I wish I had. So at that point, she's just standing there. She marches, she locks this side door, marches back to the front desk. I'm following her. I'm telling my friend on the phone to like come in the front door and then we can just go back to the room because this bitch is insane. So she sees my friend walking up the parking lot and she locks the fucking front doors. She locks the front doors when my friend is walking up to it. So she pulls it and it's locked and she's standing there looking straight at her. I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? I do not understand what is going on at this point. I'm losing my fucking mind. So I go back and my two friends are still waiting in the room. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm like, this bitch can suck my dick and we're getting the fuck out of here. And they're like, where are we gonna go? There's no hotels in Greenville. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, but we're fucking leaving. So I'd controlled my anger to the point that I couldn't control my anger anymore. I'm a mostly moral person. I don't like to fuck people over unless they truly, truly deserve it. And then I thought, maybe this woman is having like the worst day of her life right now. Like maybe something horrible has happened. Well, at this point, I was fucking done with this bitch, okay? I turned the shower on, I fucking left it on. I'm sorry, Earth. I'm sorry, Earth. I know I don't waste water, I recycle all the time, but fuck that bitch, though. And I said, I'm getting the fuck out of here. So I was like, get your shit together. We're fucking leaving. I'm sober. I don't care. We're just gonna drive until we find a hotel. That if nothing else, we'll just go the fuck home. Like, I'm not going to let this bitch completely ruin my entire night. So I'm going to leave, and I pass by the hotel, and I say, fuck you, bitch. I hope you have a horrible fucking night. And then I left the room. I see my friends coming out behind me, and literally all of them were just flipping this bitch off the whole time as we were leaving. And that's maybe, possibly petty, maybe immature, but it was honestly the best I could do at the moment without totally losing my fucking mind. It's like 3:30 in the morning. I will remember because at probably about an hour after we got there, I posted a picture on Snapchat and it has the time on it, and it was late as fuck. So at that point, we stayed in a traveler's lodge for the rest of the night. Had a fantastic time. Eventually, I got some really shitty apologies from Super 8 management. The manager called me and apologized and told me that if I came back, that she would give me $25 off a night in Powdersville, South Carolina. I remember very vividly laughing at her on the phone and saying, why the fuck would I come back there ever again? No, thank you. Like I said, moral of the story, if you go see Eddie Vedder, don't ask a crazy bitch for a limp unless you want to be talking to the police. I'm not really sure how to do an outro here because that was kind of a long, crazy story there. But, well, I hope you liked the story. Don't ever stay at the Super 8 in Powdersville, South Carolina. I don't give a fuck how tired you are. Just go somewhere else. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. But thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.